Welcome to Animalia channel. Today let us learn larval forms in Crustacea. Myself M. Gunakar, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Government Degree College, Siddipet, Telangana. Before going into the details of crustacean larvae, let us look at what are crustaceans. You better know that phylum Arthropoda is the largest phylum of Animalia kingdom. Arthropoda phylum is classified into three subphylums: Trilobitomorpha, Chelicerata, Mandibulata. The Mandibulata is again classified into 6 classes, among which Insecta is the largest one, and the second largest class of the Mandibulata is class Crustacea. So the crustaceans are the organisms which belong to the class Crustacea of Arthropoda. So other classes of the Mandibulata are Diplopoda, Chilopoda, Pauropoda and Symphyla. So the crustacean, whatever the larval stages that we are going to discuss today, is the larval stages of the organisms of class Crustacea. Class Crustacea is again classified into 8 subclasses: Cephalocarida, Branchiopoda, Ostracoda, Copepoda, Branchiura, Cirripedia, Mystacocarida and Malacostraca. So among the subclasses, all these subclasses, Malacostraca is the main one, in which shrimps, prawns, crayfishes, crabs are all these forms are included. So then we came to know that what are the crustaceans. Now what is larva? Larva is nothing but an immature young one of an organism, and it shows differences from the adult in size, shape and structure, and it undergo metamorphosis to become adult. In this metamorphosis, it may undergo some processes like molting or ecdysis, so in which periodically it sheds off its external covering, so that the growth will be allowed to some extent, and then periodically this continues up to the formation of the adult. Now you can have a look at the one larval stage and the adult stage in this figure. Now this is the Nauplius larva of Peneus monodon tiger shrimp. So there is differences in size, shape and structure. So this larva do not resemble any characteristic feature of this adult stage. And we can have a look at another example where crabs. Here you can see the crab life cycle, where eggs, after hatching out, there are different larval stages. We can see all the larval stages show dissimilarities with the adult stage, adult crab. Now before going into the details of crustacean larva, let us have a look at the characteristic features of class Crustacea. Crustacea has got their name from the Latin word crust, which means hard shell. Crustacea includes mostly aquatic arthropods which breathe by gills. They respire by gills. Sometimes their external covering or body skin also helps in respiration. They are mostly marine, but very few larval freshwater forms are also there. So they are so abundantly found in the seas and oceans that they have been called as insects of the sea. And some of the crustaceans, they live on land also. That is, they lead terrestrial life. Example, sow bugs. Many of them are carnivores or scavengers. Very few of them are parasitic and sedentary. The size varies from 2.5 millimeters to 3 meters. Water flea measures about 2.5 millimeters and Japanese crab measures about 3 meters. Their body is covered with hard but flexible chitinous exoskeleton. Because of the presence of hard exoskeleton, the growth is not allowed. So this exoskeleton must be shed or cast off periodically. So this periodical shedding of skin or exoskeleton is called as molting or ecdysis. So most of the crustaceans undergo this molting or ecdysis many times. So this is called metamorphosis. So most of the crustaceans, they develop indirectly. Very few of them undergo direct development without any larval stage, but most of the crustaceans, they undergo indirectly development and hence have one or more larval forms between hatching from their eggs and adult form. And the forms of the crustaceans which without larval stages are Palemon, the freshwater prawn, and Astacus, etc. we can see. Now in some forms of the crustacea, metamorphosis occur within the egg case. That is, from the egg only adults will hatch out. Examples are Mebalia and Mysis. This Mysis is adult Mysis, and in the next slides we can come across the same word, but where this Mysis and that Mysis is different. Now here in this, you can see the crayfish, how the molting takes place. The molting, that means the external covering or the shell that will molt the shed off, and this process is called molting. Now let us have a look at the list of important larval forms of crustacea. There have been about 15 larval forms of crustacea so far identified, among which few of them I will discuss few of them. Among which Nauplius is the first and foremost one. Metanauplius, then comes Metanauplius, Protozoea, Zoea, Metazoea, Mysis or Schizopod, Megalopa, Cypris, Philosoma, Elima. And these are the main larval stages, and among which Glaucothe larva and Eryctus larva are also present. You can see this this Glaucothe larva, and which is hermit crabs. The hermit crabs, they have this Glaucothe larva in their life cycle. Eryctus, this larva looks like this one, and there is a Metazoea stage. The figure represents the Metazoea stage, and all these stages, they represent the many larval forms of crustaceans. Now let us discuss one by one, the first being the Nauplius larva. This is the first larval stage of many crustaceans. As I have told you, this Nauplius stage, most of the crustaceans, they start their life cycle with Nauplius larva. Hence it is the first larval stage of many crustaceans, which is microscopic in nature, and it is oval body and free swimming. It can swim freely, and its body is unsegmented. Body is can be divisible into head, trunk and rudimentary abdomen. You can see the rudimentary abdomen here. Head and trunk are fused to form cephalothorax, and there are 3 pairs of jointed appendages with swimming setae can be seen, and first pair are uniramous, which they become antennules in the adults, and the second and third pairs are biramous, which become the second pair of biramous appendages become antenna of the adults, and the third pair become mandible of the adult. These antennae and mandibles, they help the larval stage in swimming, and hence they are more developed. You can see the rudimentary abdomen here, and this Nauplius larva undergoes many molds to form various stages of larval stages like Metanauplius, Protozoea, Zoea, Mysis, before transforming into the adult stage. This adult penis, how it will look like, you can see. Then penis or shrimp. Now let us have a look at the second stage, the Nauplius, where it molts to form Metanauplius larva, and this which has a oval cephalothorax, and abdomen is terminating in the caudal fork. There are 4 pairs of rudimentary appendages are also present, and these rudimentary appendages, they develop to become maxilla, maxillula, and first 2 pairs of maxillipedes of the adult. And mandibles, they acquire the masticatory process. With the help of this masticatory process, the mandibles help them in feeding of the larva. Then there are some decapods which begin their life cycle with the Metanauplius larva, omitting the Nauplius larva. Example is Lucifer. Sorry, I forgot to point a note. One, Muller's larva. Muller is the scientist who discovered this Nauplius larva. So the third stage larva is called Protozoea larva. Metanauplius molts to form Protozoea, and where carapace is very much big, it enlarges and covers the dorsal surface, and appendages are also well developed, and they show in movement, they help in movement of the body, and there are some rudiments of paired lateral eyes begin here on either side of the the center, in the center where the median eye is present in the previous stages. Rudiments of thoracic segments are also begin here, but abdomen is still unsegmented without any appendages. But telson is present at the posterior end along with the uropod. So Sergestes is a shrimp which hatches in this Protozoea stage, omitting the previous stages, that is the Nauplius and Metanauplius stages. Now coming to the next important larval stage, that is called zoea larva, which is the second important, that can be considered as the second important larva, first being the Nauplius. This protozoea molts to form zoea stage, the previous protozoea molts to form zoea stage, and where the cephalothorax is well developed, which and carapace is produced or projects into an anterior spine, that we know that rostrum, and the posterior spine, which is called medial dorsal spine. So with the help of these two characteristic features, this peculiar characteristic feature, we can easily identify the zoea larva. Paired compound eyes are also present, which are movable. These compound eyes, with the help of stalk, they are movable. Antennae used as oars for the swimming. Thoracic appendages are also appear as buds. Abdomen became distinct but without any abdominal appendages. There are 6 segments can be seen in the abdomen with the caudal furca, we can see easily. And this in Squilla, the Alima larva will hatches out from the egg directly, which is a modified zoea larva. And this zoea larva in Peneus transforms into metazoea larva, and this metazoea larva has better ability for swimming because of the better usage of appendages than that of the zoea larva. Now you can see here in this blue color figure, you can see in the lower stage, you can see this metazoea figure. Now coming to the other two crustacean larval stages, the mysis larva. This mysis larva is the last stage in the Peneus life cycle. So where the mysis larva or schizopod larva molts to form this zoea larva molts to form this mysis larva, and it is so called because it resembles the mysis, adult mysis. In the previous slides I have shown you that mysis is the adult one. This mysis larva almost shows the similarities with this adult mysis, hence the name. It is also called schizopod larva. Its body thorax has 5 pairs of legs which are biramous and they help in locomotion. Abdomen is also elongated with the help of and they possess biramous pleopods, and it metamorphoses into the adult Peneus by the loss of exopodates on the thoracic legs, and this is the last stage in the development of the Peneus, that is shrimp. Now in some brachyura, that is crabs, this zoea, instead of passing into mysis larva, transforms into the megalopa stage. Now you can see in this figure how this where cephalothorax is broad and carapace projects anteriorly as a spine and median spine, and there are stalked eyes are also present, which are larger in size. Thoracic appendages are well formed here, and only the thing is it leads pelagic life. That is, it swims on the upper layers of the surface layers of the water, but later on it sinks to the bottom and assume all adult characteristic features. Now coming to the other larval forms of crustacea, there are cypris larva, Phylosoma larva and Alima larva. Cypris larva, named because it resembles the adult cypress, and in some Cirripedia crustaceans like Saculina, Lepas, Balanus, etc., the Nauplius passes on to the cypress stage after undergoing several molts, and the body and appendages are enclosed in a bivalved carapace. You can see in this figure how it look like. There is two walls that covers and which are attached to each other with the adductor muscles similar to that of the adult cypress, and there are, you can see, the adhesive glands are present on the modified antennules also. Phylosoma larva is a larva of rock lobster Palinurus, where mysis larva changes directly to the Phylosoma larva after undergoing several molts, and body is large, leaf-like and glassy, hence it is also called glass crab, and the body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen, though the abdomen is very small, very short. Now you can have a look at this figure. Now you can see this abdomen is very short, unsegmented, and compound eyes are also stalked compound eyes. Thorax with large maxillipeds, you can see 3 pairs of thoracic legs are also can be seen. Okay, but there are no abdominal appendages. Now let us have a look at the other larva, Alima larva. Alima larva is the larva of Squilla. It is mentioned already, which is a modified zoea larva. Zoea larva transforms into, it is a modified zoea larva, and which have a slender body, and it has broad carapace with also rostrum also. So now then compound eyes, a pair of stalked compound eyes are also present along with the cephalic appendages. What is the main feature of this Elema larva is second maxillipede, which is very much bigger, that is curved. The second maxillipede is curved and helpful in feeding. Telson is also broad and abdominal appendages also can be seen. So these are main larval forms. There are many other larval forms which are not so important. Now let us come to the advantages of larval forms. There are many advantages of the larval forms to the species. Larval stages, they help in wide dispersal of the species due to their capacity of swimming. So as the eggs hatches out and the larval stages come out, these larval stages are able to swim to the long distances, so that they help in dispersal or distribution of the species to some extent, and in doing so they prevent overcrowding also. And the last but not the least one advantage of the larval forms is the larval forms, as they feed for themselves, there is no need of storage of yolk in the egg. So as these larvae feed for themselves, lot of reserve yolk food is not necessary for the eggs to develop into adults. So until development of the adults, there is no need to store the yolk into the eggs. Now let us have a look at the significance of crustacean larvae. So as you are aware of this one law called biogenetic law or recapitulation theory, which was proposed by Ernest Haeckel, and this law states that every organism in its developmental history, the developmental history of an organism is called ontogeny, is repeated to some extent its evolutionary history, that is phylogeny. Evolutionary history of an organism is called phylogeny. That means ontogeny repeats phylogeny. It means successive stages of development correspond with successive adult ancestors of the line of evolutionary descent. So I would like to mention one thing here. If you see the tadpole larva of amphibia, looks like a fish. So the fishes are the ancestors of the amphibians. Again, if you see the embryonic stages of the reptiles, the embryonic stages of the reptiles look like first fish-like embryonic stage also appears in the development of the reptile, and an amphibian stage look like embryonic stage also appears in the developmental stage of reptiles. So in such a way that in the development of individual development, there is a stage which corresponds with the successive adult ancestors of the evolutionary descent. So this is called biogenetic law recapitulation theory. So Nauplius larva was also regarded to represent the ancestral form of crustaceans, and it was presumed earlier that Nauplius larva is from Nauplius larva, present day crustaceans have evolved phylogenetically. But this view is now been modified. Crustacean larval forms are now regarded to be the larval reversions of the types, that is species, which are much simpler than the crustacean ancestors. This means, how can we understand this statement? It can be understood that these larval forms represent larval stages of ancestral crustaceans. Okay, so the larval stages are they are more useful to find out the homologies, that is similarities and the affinities to various groups. How can we know the similarities? Because if animals which pass through similar larval stages are closely related, if they pass through dissimilar larval stages, they are distantly related. So we can come to conclusion. So this is the significance of crustacean larvae. Thank you for listening to this channel. Thank you.